Y'all come up in here. We off cam tonight, but I'm putting a name on it. Because I'm tired of the bullshit. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Come on, y'all. Get up in here. Get up in here. I actually want to kind of react to the latest ASI video with Feisty and Tragedy as they came back to Atlanta from, why she came back to Atlanta from Texas. Come on in here, y'all. Come on in.
Terrified teenager trying to talk her way out of a homicide detectives already know she isn't telling the truth about. But one where the line between victim and victimized will get
Come on in, y'all.
very blurry.
Y'all come on in here, because I know this nigga got a lot of effing nerve. I know you fucking lying. Let me go back to this video real quick. This Marcus, you something else. You is a bruh, you you are really a piece of work with your flailing ass. Come on, y'all. Y'all get up in here. Get up in here. Come on, y'all. We're gonna talk about it. Marcus, you got a lot of nerve. I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. You so disrespectful. You are so disrespectful and fight in tragedy. You are a much better man than I could ever be. Cause Lord, ain't no way in hell you gonna sit there and disrespect that man in front of his woman, a woman that you slept with at that. Oh no, ain't no way in hell. I know you fucking lying. I know you fucking lying. Ain't nobody got that much nerve, right? You gonna sleep with a nigga girl, and then you gonna disrespect him in front of his girl. That's a whole new level of bold. But see, here's the T, Marcus. Here's the T. The only thing that separates you from wallet. There's literally nothing else because morally, you're no different than him. You're not better morally, right? You're not better than tragedy ethically. You certainly don't look better than tragedy. You're not taller than tragedy. You're not even as tall as tragedy. So, what really do you have above him that you can leverage that you feel as if it's so big that man in front of his woman any way you want? I it is. My nigga, you a trick. That's what it is. What you have over tragedy is nothing more than trickability. You can afford to trick off, he cannot. But the T is he also don't have to. Tragedy. And the only thing you have above him is your wallet. You're not morally above him, ethically above him. You're not physically above him. There is absolutely not a single way in which you are above him than the fact that you have more money than him. That's it. And if you and tragedy were on the same financial level, Marcus, you- Marcus, if y'all both were coming to the table with the same amount of money, he wins. He wins. Mark, he wins. On every level, he wins. On any level, he wins. There is no level in which you win if y'all two are playing on a level every effing time. And I think that it bothers you that Feisty has stayed in a relationship with Tragedy all this time without him having the trappings and the trappings of life that you could possibly offer. And yet, Feisty could only take sleeping with you one single time. No more. But she continues to mess with Tragedy. Why? Because Tragedy gives her something beyond the wallet that give. Maybe it's good D. Maybe it's good company, good vibes, good energy, but whatever it is, I sense that you're jealous of Tragedy because the way that you talk to that young man, the way that you address him is in a way that you address an enemy. And so I have to ask, why and how could possibly Tragedy possibly be an enemy to Marcus? What would he have done that would legitimize him as an enemy? Hmm. Question. There's no reasoning that would make sense. There are people on Atlanta Street's interview or in the history of ASI who have done Marcus a lot worse. If you think about CJ, right? People who have done Marcus Tragedy, but for some reason, Tragedy ends up being his punching bag. For what? For what? For what? What did Tragedy do to you, sir? The only thing Tragedy did was be Feisty's boyfriend, fiance, whatever. What other than that has this young man done to you that makes you feel as if you can talk to him any way you want, disrespect him like you are so much better than me? Because God knows, Lord knows, it could not be me. It couldn't. It just could not. And that's why I said at this point, bro, we got to fight. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think you like content. I feel like it would be great content. But at this point, we need to glove up and knuckle up, bruh. Because you be doing too much. And I feel like you've been allowed to go on for so far and for so long that you kind of feel like you invincible. And somebody gotta let you know you not invincible, bruh. Mm-hmm. 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 Somebody's gotta let you know you're not invincible. It's the tragedy, bro. You flailing. Let me just start with that. You're flailing. This effort to try to bring back some of the ASI favorites to the channel, to the platform, and to try to get the trust and sort of the nostalgic feelings that some of us in the audience might have, because you know that there are certain people we're going to watch whether we want to or not. Especially for someone like me. I'm not going to know that Tone and Ileana is on Atlanta Street interviews and not watch. These are two people I care about, two people I absolutely want the best for. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch an episode that involves them. But I will tell you this though, those episodes are not hitting the way that they used to hit before because we in the audience are getting the feeling that it's gratuitous, meaning you're using them because you know that your platform is at a point where it's Orlando 44 says he has convinced himself that he is better than everyone. He really has. And it's delusional. And it's so upsetting to me to know that he continuously crosses the path of people who don't seem to know that his shit stinks. But I think that with tragedy knows and myself that Marcus's ish stinks, and that bothers Marcus because not only does he know that tragedy knows his ish stinks, but he also knows that tragedy is willing to publicly call. And that's bothersome to a narcissistic person like him who depends on silence in order to remain effective as a narcissist. He needs people to be silent. He needs people to be afraid to confront him. He needs people to be afraid to speak out against him. But he's flailing. Ever since Yaya, he's flailing. The thing is, he doesn't even like Tone. And if I'm being honest, Tone doesn't like him. There are two men who realize that they have a mutually financially beneficial relationship, one far more beneficial than the other, and they're willing to tolerate each other for the sake of finance and content. But neither one of them, Marcus doesn't like Tone. If you ask Marcus, does he respect Tone? He could not look you in your face and tell you he honestly respects that man. He does not. He has, in fact, Tone might have more respect for Marcus have for Tone. Marcus doesn't have any respect or regard for Tone. But what Marcus realizes, and that's why he's been kind of carrot dangling this whole story about the paternity results, right? He's been carrot dangling the story about the paternity results because he realizes that while he may not necessarily like and or respect Tone, that the audience of ASI still has enough of an audience of the weird thing about the ASI audience, and this is no disrespect to y'all because a lot of y'all follow me and I appreciate y'all. So this is no disrespect to y'all. But what I do know about a lot of y'all is that y'all are the kind of viewers who watch with one eye open and one eye closed, or both eyes squinched, or one eye open and one eye squinched. But you're not watching a lot of this stuff with both eyes wide open because the humanity in you would not even allow you to stand it long enough to do that. Orlando says, right. You can see it plainly that Tone doesn't like him. Marcus ruined that. Tone seemed to be respected at the beginning. I'll tell you something. In the beginning, Tone loved Marcus. I could tell y'all that as a fact. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can tell y'all for 100% fact that of their relationship, Tone loved and respected Marcus as a older brother, a uncle, even a secondary dad. I'm telling you this. I know this. And many of you, if you paid attention, you would know as well that there was a time when Tone absolutely revered Marcus and respected Marcus and looked up to Marcus. But then there came a time, and I take personal responsibility because I played a role in that. So I can't get away from that. I just thank God that the person I was then is not the person I am today because I played a role in that. But that said, Marcus is still a grown man. And he took what was a budding friendship, a budding mentorship, and turned it into content. And Marcus made a conscious decision that Tone was going to be better off as content than he could ever be as a friend, as a nephew, as a secondary son, as a mentee, that he would be better off as content. That was the calculation that Marcus made. And fair enough, it wasn't necessarily a bad calculus because we know from the numbers that indeed Tone ended up being great content. Ileana continues to be great content. But these are people that Marcus does not like. He may like Ileana. I'm not going to take that from her. He may like Ileana. Try to screw her too. But he may like Ileana. But I know Marcus does not like Tone. I know that Marcus does not respect Tone. I know that he doesn't hold Tone in any high regard whatsoever. Marcus looks at Marcus looks at tragedy the way he looks at Tone. But the thing with tragedy is a little bit deeper. And here's what it is. I think with tragedy, let me say this directly to you. If you ever see this, I'm going to speak directly to you. Bruh, Marcus always thought you was gay. Marcus never bought that you was a heterosexual man. And to be honest with you, a lot of people haven't. I have. But a lot of people did. But Marcus specifically did not. And when you go along with that foursome, fivesome, sixsome plan that he had been cooking up with you know who? The K person? Y'all never been the same since then. Do you notice that, bro? Do you not notice that ever since you turned down a foursome link up? Not that y'all were great before then, because if I'm being honest, even before then, he was a little bit disrespectful. But what I've noticed is that you became an op after you, because you fucked up his bag. You messed up his bag. He know that would have been a bag. First of all, Cash Spicy giving him the biggest bag he's ever had. Tragedy. If you would have gotten a video with Cash, cause you a handsome dude. I say that respectfully, Feisty. Cash is beautiful. It damn sure would have been a good look in a video. He knows that. It pisses him off, tragedy, that you turned out to be more hetero than he actually believed you were. Because I believe he's less hetero than he thinks he is or projects that he is. Yeah. And so the fact that you actually had the nerve to turn somebody that he's been lotioning up his piece to, the fact that you actually turned down a trans that he's been choking his chicken to, allegedly, and you ain't got as much going for you. You ain't got half the money he got. Shit, a quarter of the money he got. Shit, 10% of the money he got. But you got the nerve to turn down opportunity to make a bag dealing with this TS that he been fantasizing about, romanticizing about, and possibly done smashed. I'ma just say possibly done smashed. And you think That did not bother him? Oh, it bothered him, tragedy. It bothered him. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Tragedy, it bothered him more than you think. It bothered Marcus that you didn't go for that foursome. Mm-hmm. And y'all have never been the same since. He's never liked you since, and he never will like you. Tragedy. It's nothing you could do to earn Marcus's respect. Absolutely nothing. And I would tell the same thing. There's nothing you ever be able to do to earn this man's respect. So if you want to F with him, money tip and get you a little bag, whatever it may be, little 40, 60 here and there, do you. But as far as you ever thinking that you working with a person that respects you, mm-mm. Marcus ain't got no respect for you. Marcus is never going to have any respect for you. Any respect for you. You fucked up his bag when you turned down that foursome. And it's not just that you turned down the bag, but Marcus never thought you was straight, tragedy. Marcus always thought you was gay or bi or at least like something in between. But Marcus never thought you was heterosexual, bruh. You disappointed him. You hurted him. Yeah, you hurt him. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. You disappointed him, bruh. When you turned down that foursome with K, you really hurt his, you really, that got under his skin because if anybody watching thinks about it and you backtrack, sure, you could say Marcus has always been a little funny with tragedy. But think about how it's been since tragedy, quote unquote, stopped the bag, allegedly. Right? Think about how it's been since tragedy's heterosexuality got in the way of the bag. Things have hit a little bit different. It's hit a little bit different, and who gonna tell me I'm wrong? Who the fuck gonna check me? Tell me I'm wrong. You do the mental math, and you look at when it was since Marcus started treating tragedy like a op. He always treated tragedy like a loser. Don't get me wrong. He's always treated tragedy like a loser. Only since tragedy turned down that foursome with cash that he started treating him more like a op. Cause it was like, I thought you was a whole DL ass nigga. That really bothered him, allegedly. That allegedly really got under Marcus's skin. Marcus has no respect for tragedy, no regard for tragedy. He does not like tragedy, but it's literally the same feelings he had for Tone. He's just willing to pretend right now because the content is not contenting. And nigga, it's still not motherfucking contenting. Because for somebody who knows Tone personally, for somebody who knows Ileana personally, I'm gonna be honest with you, bruh. Paint dry. Really, and it's not even. This is not even about them. This is just about you. Yeah, it's about you and your approach to the content and the general consensus and feelings that it's uh the carroting alonging of the whole baby is this storyline, like We care, but then we don't care. Like we care, but like if you even if you watch this on the playback, put a 1 in the chat if you get what I'm saying. Like we care, but we don't. You feel me? We care, but we not pressed to know, right? Because whoever the daddy is, it's not going to change the situation, right? It ain't going to make no motherfucking difference. It ain't going to make no difference. They going to still be in their same situation. They still got to do what they got to do. Got to survive. They still got to live, right? But who does the outcome of that story most? And don't say Devon, because that would be a damn lie. That would be a lie. You know how we know that would be a lie? Because we could use our common sense to deduce that due to the popularity of ASI, if anybody within the ASI bubble or landscape could possibly be the dad, they would at least have some idea of that. They would at least have some, because they would know that they slept with her, right? They would know that they slept with her around that time, right? And following or assuming that they followed the storyline, right? You would have to imagine that they would think, well, sheesh, I could possibly be the dad. That could be me. Because I do remember that me and this person did have a one night stand or relationship may have been during that time. And you would think that they would just come forward on their own and reach out to her and say, look, I think I could possibly be the father, right? So that hasn't happened. So who does the outcome benefit? Who? It doesn't benefit Tone, right? It may not benefit Ileana. It may or may not benefit Divine, but it definitely benefits Marcus. Oh, it benefits him. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Him, it benefits. Whatever the out that storyline is, it benefits him because there's enough of his sycophants, including myself, although not in as strong a sense of the word, who will follow that storyline to the gates of hell. It's as simple as that. And he knows that. He's aware of that. And he depends on that to drive that sort of clickbaitish type content that he's been doing as of late. Where are the new Where are the Marcus walking down the street and discovering an entirely new, unseen, and unheard of interesting talent and story? Where's that interview? We get that you can throw $100 around to a previous interviewee. Nigga, catch me on the right day, you might get me back on cam. Hard as Trump got times these motherfucking days. Catch me on the right day, nigga, you might get me back on the camera. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna lie to you. But that's the easy path. That's the low hanging fruit. When you know you got a few people in your bubble who either are always needy or have the capacity to possibly be in a circumstance where they may need money, right? You can easily milk that. You can milk that cow forever. But Marcus, where are your new interviewees? Where are the new where's the feisty bunch 2.0? Now we see that you tried to get that done with Yaya and Bunch, and it didn't obviously go as planned. where's the 2.0? Because as much as you might want to denigrate Feisty and talk about, how she wouldn't have the platform that she has if it wasn't for you. Well, the fact that you was able to give her that platform is only due to the numbers that your content involving her got you. Because if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be able to platform her the way that you successfully platformed her. You wouldn't be able to platform me. You wouldn't be able to platform any of the people in the ASI bubble that you've been able to platform if it weren't for the fact that their interaction with your channel created compelling enough content that people felt like they might have an interesting story outside of ASI. You don't get to fucking take credit and just like you're not the fucking overlord of every previous ASI interviewee's success. Feisty gave a great deal to your channel, whether you want to admit that or not. Feisty gave a lot to ASI. Feisty, out of all of the females that have ever entered the ASI bubble, I can only think of three who even. Hi, Vegas 777. How are you? But I can only think of maybe three people who even come close as far as women go. I can only think of three women who even come close or who can compete with Feisty in terms of the love-hate relationship that she had with the audience, which is, if you think about it, essential to um, any entertainment platform of your kind, right? That push and pull, that love and hate, that polarizing relationship with the Feisty gave it all. Feisty was literally like the fucking black Erica Kane of the YouTube. Like it or not, you can't take that away from her, bro. You can't. And to try to denigrate her and act as if her success is due to you, you got to understand that um content creating is a two it's a two-tier space. It's a two-way space. The content benefits the creator just as much as it benefits the createe or the person that the content is directed toward or about. This idea, Marcus, that you somehow are the people that you use to create the content because you are the CC is absolute nonsense. And somebody needs to call that out. And it should have been called out. And to think that you're a better fucking man than Tragedy, on what fucking level? On what level? On what level are you a better man than Tragedy? I'm being serious here. And see, we're not talking about better content. We're not talking about better clothing. We're not talking about better. On what level are you a better man than Tragedy? Is my question. Man, not content creator, not dad. On what level are you a better man than tragedy? If somebody else, because I know he won't, if somebody knows the answer to that, please put it in the chat. And on what level is Marcus a better man? Not dad, not content creator. Now, I'm not saying, and this is respectfully tragedy. I'm not, no disrespect to you. I'm not saying that tragedy is like the pillar of like manhood and like getting it done and handling business. And no, I'm not saying that. But morally, ethically, tragedy is a way better man than Marcus. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong and tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong and tell me exactly how I'm wrong. Shit. We just watched this ninja woman leave Atlanta and miles away to a whole nother state without him, right? She been gone for like what, 6 weeks, a month, 6 weeks, whatever it's been, right? You heard at no time tragedy cheating on her. You heard at no time tragedy get caught up in some type of weird scandal, right? You heard at no time the worst thing you could say about tragedy during the time that Feisty was going with that she sent him money or had to send him cash apps. Whatever, nigga, mind your business. Like the dynamics of people relationships is not even like your business. Like if it worked for them, it worked for them. Like why is you hating? Like leave them alone. Like if she looking out for her man and she holding her man down because she states away, then nigga, that's what it is. She holding her man down. She states away. Whatever. Like, why is you so bothered by it? Why are you so offended by it? But I will tell you what though. You let T go somewhere for a month. You let T go somewhere for 6 weeks. You think Marcus not gonna be caught up in a scandal? You think you think Marcus not gonna be hunching on somebody's homeless daughter? Oh, son. Huh? Morally and ethically, Marcus and tragedy can only be one of two fucking clearly. They can only be one in the same, or tragedy has to be a bad man. There is no other option. Like there's literally no other option. They're either equal or tragedy is a better man than Marcus. There is no other option. Because in nobody's commonsensical world is Marcus a better man than tragedy. No. No. Absolutely not. That only applies to maybe the the self-esteem starved women driven than they are by qualities. Because in terms of quality, tragedy outqualifies Marcus ethically, morally. Absolutely, he does. Shit, K3 does. Chaos does. I wish all saw themselves the way that I saw them, because they would not even allow this nigga to play them the way they be allowing Polo. Well, damn it. Now that's the challenge. But shit, Charles. Charles is a way better man than Marcus at the end of the day. If you get past like the well shit, last time we saw Charles, he wasn't even homeless anymore, right? But once you get past like the lack of the homelessness, or you get past the whatever mental issues some of these people, some of these men that we've come across in this space, you think about Shay. When we met Shay, Shay came to us as a trans person who had just came out of prison, right? And then Shay turned her life around. Now I believe Shay has a child. In what world is Shay not a better human being than Marcus? In what fucking world, on what planet is not a better person, a better man than Marcus? I'm a fan. Don't get it twisted. But it doesn't mean that we have to suspend ourselves from reality. Shay is a better man than Marcus. It is what it is. And Vegas 777 says right, because he's been with the same women as that's what I'm saying. So how are you better than somebody if you get in the same? That's what I say about that other person, when like people try to say I'm jealous of this person, or like, I wish I looked more like, baby, we pulling the same niggas at the F what I what? What? And baby, I promise you ain't a nigga she could pull that I couldn't. I promise y'all that. I'm not going to. It is what it is. And I say that respectfully. That ain't no disrespect to sis. Y'all know I got a lot of love for sis. So this ain't even, but I'm just saying. So like if you and this nigga Tragedy is pulling females on the same level, in fact, you done pull some females that's of a lesser caliber than Feisty. And since Feisty is the only one that we've seen Tragedy with, we have to assume that Feisty is his. I guess we would have to say that's his. We we would have to say that Feisty is his top level, right? And Marcus, you slept with Feisty, so how are y'all not at least on the same level? You think just because you got an iPhone that you can hold over your head in people's face, that somehow that makes you better than the male interviewees that you had that may be lacking in an apartment or a lease or family or children or love life or self-esteem or whatever the case may be, that somehow that places you in a position where you better than them, and you feel like you could talk down on them and disrespect them to their face. But today was about as close as I seen yet as to one of your punching on you. Cause bro, you looked today like he was gonna put hands on you, and you could do that little stupid ass laughing because you got that effing gun in your waistband. But understand that the laws in Georgia is not as simple as you may think, and them self defense laws, they don't hit for black people the same way they hit for YT people. So if you think that just because somebody puts some hands on you that you're gonna be able to just pull out and off them, it don't work that way, bruh. Nope. It don't. It don't. I hope you really, really reading the laws. Yeah. It needs to be equal force. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, me punching you in your throat, well, now that could be deadly force. That could be. And when I say me, I'm not saying me per se, like me, or you. I'm saying like in general, like somebody punching you in your throat, like you gotta just punch them back in their throat or like kick them in their temple, bro. You can't just pull out and shoot them. So don't be thinking that you happy go lucky because you got that little pistola. You got that little gun on you and you feel like I heard Tragedy tell you today to take that gun off. And when you was in my house, you made no mistake to act like I forget what you was acting like you was doing. Like you act like you needed to use your shirt to clean the camera or some dumb shit, but you made sure you pulled that shirt up and I could see your gun. Nigga, I'd have flipped you in here. Like nigga, I'd have beat a nigga up in my house taller than me and took his gun from him in my crib, nigga. Old story time on here about that. Like beat the nigga up, took his gun, pistol whipped him with his own gun, and then gave him back his gun. Got him up out my shit. Yeah, yeah. True story. True story. Anybody in my hood following me know this is a true story. Yeah, like that. So you could have still got flipped in here, little nigga, even with your gun. Like, don't even think nobody was pressed. Don't even think that nobody was pressed by that, but you tried to press me with that gun. But bruh, at the end of the day, you're no different. You're no better of a caliber of a man simply because you created a platform that has afforded you a certain amount of that some of the men within your platform who help you gain that financial freedom don't have. You think that these people are nothing without you, Marcus, when the truth is you ain't shit without them. I've never heard you talk about any college degree. I've never even heard you talk about any college experience. Not saying you never have, you may have. But like I told you earlier, I'm a sycophant, but not in the way that these sycophants are. I'm on a much lower level. So you may have, I don't know. Maybe you went to a HBCU, I don't know. But you never talk about any career path that you had before YouTube, that you spent a lifetime building the way people like me have built over our lifetime. You've never spoken about any series of employment that gave you any sense of joy or any sense of commitment to society or um as if you were making any long-term input to the world. You've never spoken about any work outside of YouTube where you were doing that. So you strike a little bit of gold in these YouTube streets and suddenly your shit don't stink. That's not how it work, bro. That ain't never been how it work. Cause you feel me, you hit a certain demographic of apathetic, a lot of them really disgusting people. And how I know is because if you got damn near 300,000 subscribers and I got 1,000 and something, right? And I know that I got like 1,400, and I know that at least, if I'm being honest, I would say at least a K, 1K came from, like, we probably share 1K of the same, right? But I guarantee you I got the good ones. The good ones. I have to have the good ones because you got 300K. I only got 1K of them. I got all the good ones, or at least most of the good ones. I'm sure of that because most of your audience, they toxic as you is. And that's why they could tolerate all of the fuckery you got going on here. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh yeah. That's why they can tolerate it. And that's why a lot of them will never call you out. You got a lot of women who follow you who have very low self-esteem. These are women who've been beaten and abused. They've had to fight all their fucking lives. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're downtrodden. Yeah. Single parents. Mm-hmm. I know the type. Mm-hmm. Hurt by life. Mm-hmm. And a man like you would be a prize for women. And so a lot of women, I don't doubt, do think you're a prize. But I also it's only a certain type of woman that's gonna be thinking that. Okay, it's only a certain kind of woman that's gonna be thinking that you're the prize. Cause I don't give a fuck what you bring to the table. When the table is 2 feet taller than you, being the prize is almost not even a possibility. Yeah. Especially when we talk about the children's table. You know the little children's table at the Thanksgiving dinner? How you got the little, it be usually we use like a little, one of them little, the little four-legged card tables that we get from Walmart or something. And we'll just throw like a little piece of covering or something over it and we call it the children's table. Kids sit down and eat bunched up together behind the table. Baby, when you're not even taller than that table, you got the nerve to be standing before a handsome ass, tall ass tragedy. Nephew, I say that respectfully. Feisty, I say that respectfully. But you standing before a handsome, tall ass tragedy. I don't know if he tall, but shit. Who ain't taller than you? And you talking to this down to this man as if you that much better than him in some way? Really? Really? So you see, this is why I don't be on YouTube a lot. Y'all notice, like, I go days. I don't give a damn at this point. Monetizing, I don't give a fuck. My peace of mind, because I don't know how y'all could digest this 7 days a week. I don't know. I don't know how y'all could take it. I cannot. I can't. No, the Dominique Speaks show. Oh no, we will go on hiatus in the middle of the week. We don't give a damn. Yup. Cause I can't. I don't know how. Like, do y'all literally do? When y'all was y'all really watching that, thinking to yourself as y'all watch him go in on tragedy? What would it be about him that would make y'all think that he's so much better than tragedy? I told y'all earlier, you got two options. Or tragedy is a better man. There's not another option. There's not. And by the way, bro, this ain't a kick a nigga while he down situations. You don't even think you down. You so delusional. You wouldn't even think that. So this ain't even a kick a ninja while he down type of situation. I'm just saying, like, I watched that new content and I'm like, what the hell? Like, why you what is your problem with tragedy? Like, what the fuck did tragedy do? Do you know tragedy came to my house? We did the Sunday dinner interview with Tragedy and Feisty. If you haven't seen it, definitely scroll back and check that out. Nice guy. I'm talking about in getting these comment sections and windmill all you want about what you see on the internet. I'm talking about in person. I'm talking about came in my house and conducted themselves with dignity and class. Now, yes, there was the moment when apparently my little nephew needed to light his cigarette. He was going, baby, in that interview, in that moment, he didn't give a mother, he didn't give a, he, listen, at that moment, Tragedy would have lit that motherfucking cigarette on a volcano if he could have. You heard the clicking, click, 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 the lighter, the lighter wasn't working. And baby, he didn't care. He was clickety click 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 click. My nephew had to get him a lighter, and he finally got that. But he conducted his energy was really nice. He seems like a really nice dude in real life. So my whole thing is like, unless you coming across somebody, I didn't come across like, bro, what is your issue with Tragedy? Like, why are you so at him? Why are you so dogged about? I've only seen you at two niggas like that in since I've been watching ASI, and that is Tragedy. No, I'm gonna say three: Tragedy, Chaos, Tone. I've not seen you, even K3, I've not seen you go at like that. Like, I've not seen you go at what is it about Tragedy that gets under your skin so bad that you feel like you have to just attack him? And Tragedy, I'm proud of you. Cause even though you didn't go as far as I would have went in that moment, or as I would have hoped you would have gone in that moment, you went far enough to earn my respect more than you already had it. You definitely went far enough to earn my respect further than where it already has been. I've already had respect for you, but definitely seeing that today. You gotta get and Tragedy. Next time, take it a step up. He ain't gonna shoot you. He ain't gonna Tragedy. He not smack fire out that nigga. He's not gonna what he gonna do? You think that nigga gonna shoot you because you smacked the bitch out him? You think this nigga gonna see? You think he willing to sit in jail for 15, 20? Well, shit. Maybe, because, yeah, he might. Scratch that. Ignore the last 10 seconds. But bottom line is this, though. There are laws about self-defense. Nigga can't shoot you because you smack fire out of him. You understand what I'm saying? Nigga can't shoot you because you hawk spit in his face and walk off. No. You hawk spit in the nigga face and walk off. He just got to drop his gun and put his hands up. That's it. What the hell? I'm all activities. I believe when people disrespect you, when people violate you, when people try to shame you in public, when people try to, you know what I'm saying, try to make you like the content on some disrespectful ish. Like, I'm all for the hawk spitting in the face. I'm all for the punching a nigga in his throat. I'm all for the smacking the nigga in his face. I'm all for punching the nigga in his temple. I'm all for all of that. I'm all for it. Or let me tell y'all what I did tonight. Y'all could be mad at me. I don't even care, bruh. It happened. I don't care. Bow, it's this white lady, right? She walking up the street, right? I'm on my phone. She yelling and screaming. She like, oh, you want to record me too? You want to record me too? I'm like, block away, right? But I'm walking towards her. She's walking towards me, right? Now, I'm not recording her. I'm actually texting, but the way that I hold my phone when I text, I could get why she might think that. But at the same time, like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. This is America. Like, we get recorded all the time. If I was recording you, who the F cares? Like, what? And you walking through the hood. Like, you was a whole white tee woman walking through the, like, miss, go about your business. So Bow, she walking towards me. I'm walking towards her. She's still yelling and screaming. He's like, oh. Then she says, oh, and it's a effing sissy. I'm like, oh my God. Now that does not bother me, right? But here's what did bother me. She goes, and it's a Nigge. That then she says that. At this point, we passed each other. I turned back around and now I'm walking behind her. So I'm like maybe 3 feet behind her at this point, and she's still popping off. And I'm like, what was that you just said? She said, you heard me? You heard me, MFA. I said you sis. And she went to saying Issy, and then she went to saying the end. And I'm like, oh, and then she goes, are you following me? I said, no, I'm just walking back up the street. I forgot something in the house. Y'all listen to me when I tell y'all. Y'all could get mad. I don't care. Look, when I tell y'all I kicked her in, boom! She went tumbling to the she went tumbling to the sidewalk. And I just kept walking, and I turned around and I was like, you could call me an Issy all day, any day, but don't you ever call me an N. You know what I'm saying? An N. I don't give a F. I don't care who you are. You could be blind, crippled, crazy. I don't care. No YT person is finna call me that word and not get the business. I don't care. You're not getting no pass because you know. I don't care. Like, no. A white woman got Emmett Till killed. I don't care about that. No. She was shocked as hell, y'all. She was so surprised, y'all. But ah! Nah, listen. The way she hit that floor. She better be glad I had sneakers on. She lucky. I ain't have heels on. She'd have been in trouble. She'd have been in trouble. She'd have been in trouble. I kicked her right. Yes, I kicked her right in her ass, y'all. And she hit that floor so hard. She. Why she do that to me? Why she do that to me? I didn't want to do that to her. I don't want to do that to nobody. That ain't me. I don't want to be that person. But y'all, boys, once you call me the N word, it's all bets is off. I don't care about the F word. You can call me an agate, an issy. None of that shit. That shit don't bother me. I be laughing. Do y'all know I use them words? Like, I be calling people agates and issies. I don't care about that. That don't bother me. Shit. There's plenty of men I call agates and issies. So them words don't bother me. But that N word, oh yeah, that one to get your ass whooped. Yep, that one might get you. That one could definitely 100% cause you some problems. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna call me that one and walk away safely. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I need to do a story time about the very first time I was ever called an N word by I'm talking about like by a legit like in a confrontation, legit racist. That's a very interesting story time. But it happened. But whenever it's happened in my life, I don't know about y'all, but I never failed to do what I'm supposed to do. You call me an N word and you a white T person, I feel like all bets is off at that point. I ain't got no. I mean, hmm. Oh yeah, all bets are off for sure. Absolutely. But getting back to Marcus, this idea that you could disrespect tragedy in public and you know good and well you're not gonna put no gloves on against him. You're not gonna give him a fair fade, but you feel like you could talk to this man any way you want. But see, when you was in my house and we got into it, the minute you seen me turn up, what did you do? What you did, bro? The video speaks for itself, so I ain't got it. Ain't no lies. What did you do? The minute you seen me turn, well, let me get on up out of here. I know where you live. I'm leaving. Right? You ain't standing and toe to toe it, right? Because you already know I ain't finna even take but so much of that. I don't even be having that. Like, these niggas got too much patience for me. I don't be, me? I wouldn't even be having these niggas. Tragedy, like, y'all really got a lot of patience. I swear to God. Chaos, y'all got a lot of patience. I ain't got it. I don't. I don't got it. I don't have it. I don't. If 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 you wouldn't allow my crib, it's no question we would have been rumbling in here. Like, you talking about the video was a 10 out, a 1 out of 10 or whatever. That shit would have been a million out of a trip. I'm telling you right now, I can't take all that disrespect to my face. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. No, we would have had to move some furniture around for sure. Mm-hmm. 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 You, Marcus, you have gotten so used to broken men, and I know that might sound crazy coming from me, right? I get it. But you've gotten so used to broken men that you just feel like any man you come around, you can talk to them how you want to talk to them. You just feels like you just think it's the same energy. You feel like it's the same energy everywhere and where every ninja, and that's not the case. And you gonna get your issue. You gonna get your issue. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, you gonna get your issue. Cause see, you gonna run into one of these ninjas that don't fit the mold, that does not fit that cookie cutter mold of a person that's willing to accept the type of disrespect that you dole out, bro. And you're going to end up with the type of content you don't want. I'm telling you right up with the you're gonna end up with may okay. This brings me to something else. Maybe we can look at this recent change in content and sort of this attempt to go back to some of our familiar faves as his recognition that he's in trouble and that his platform is losing gravitas. I mean, that is one way to look at it, and it's not a crazy way to look at it either. So maybe he's more keen than we realize. But I'll tell you what, Tone, this is my message to you all. And even if you don't see this, I'll likely text it directly to you. If y'all gonna deal with ASI and y'all still gonna do interviews, I feel like because y'all have been on the platform for so long and y'all are kind of like at this point patriarchs in a sense, definitely aunties and uncles of the platform. Um yeah, y'all can't possibly be taking no 20, 40, $50 from this man, right? Like, ain't he in, especially now, when to be honest with y'all, he needs y'all just as much as y'all might. Y'all not accepting no little 40, $50 an interview, right? Like, he definitely needs to be dropping 60, 80, somewhere in that range, right? Per interview. As y'all are main characters, right? And if you look at everything else that he's put out other than y'all, oh, well, there's been nothing other than y'all, right? Pretty much. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so all I would say to Tony and Liana is like, don't sell yourself short. $40 be ridiculous. Your minimum at this point needs to be 60. And I don't give a damn if it's for a 5 minute clip of Tone and his shit eating grin, allegedly. Y'all dudes have been paid. Your names, your likeness, your character has been dragged through the fucking mud. So yeah, you paid your dues in these YouTube streets, and absolutely, if he's trying to make y'all the centerpiece of ASI as he goes through these rough times that he's going through, yeah, y'all need to be compensated. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cause basically y'all about to Olivia Pope him out of this situation. Or Olivia Pope him through it. So why wouldn't you be getting compensated fairly? And y'all deserve it. And don't you let no fucking body tell y'all don't. Cause trust and believe, it would be just as much easier for Marcus to find brand new people that he could throw $10 and $20 to than it is to continue to interview interviewees that have been on the platform for some time and who may now accrue a larger amount of money in order to interview. right? It would be much easier for him to find new people, right? And I mean, it's Atlanta. Marcus got new characters in Atlanta literally at any hour of the day. You go to Five Points, you go to Simpson Plaza, you go to freaking Midtown, like Negroes. There's no shortage of content for somebody like Marcus, and particularly with the type of content that he does. If he's going back to a tone in the Ileana, if he's attempting to go back, see, he's attempting to go back to feisty and tragedy too. But see, here's the thing, because Marcus is a narcissist, Marcus can't let it look like he's going back to them. He needs to make it look like they're coming back to him. And because is not playing along with that shit, ah, tragedy ain't going. Because Travis not playing along with that shit. Oh, Marcus got a problem. You understand what I'm saying? Marcus Marcus could find new people in Atlanta to make brand. He right now Marcus is shell shocked because the last time he tried to do that, he got three people in Yaya, the shit, what a man. They say he 29. He say he's 17. I don't know. 19. I don't know. But I believe that that situation kind of put Marcus in a kind of shell shocked position where he's like scared to venture. Okay, I'm putting it to y'all this way. Let me break it down. Really, Marcus don't really give a fuck about these interviews. It's the spice content that's the money. And when Marcus tried to bring Yaya and those three on, or those two, the three of those people on board, it wasn't so much for the interview. The interview is just, at this point, the interview is the gateway drug. Think of it that way. At this point, the interview is the gateway rug. But what he wants you hooked on is the spicy. So he brings you in on the interview side, right? But only to introduce you to the spicy side. And so that's the problem now, because he's now scared to bring in new people, because if he's bringing in new people that he can't be reasonably sure that he could kind of usher into the spicy side, it's not worth it for him. So what's the point? So therefore, you might as well just fall back on the older people, right? The nostalgic content, the nostalgic interviewees, right? You focus on them and you bring them back into the fold, right? And that's how you keep the audience interested. Marcus right now is not looking to bring in any new people into the fold, because generally speaking, it's not important for him to have new interviewees. It's more important for him to have new spicy participants. The interview thing right now is just the entry level to the spicy, to his dad's briefcase, to the now back to the content and all that. And so Marcus is not going to endeavor to bring anybody new into the fold until he first plugs the holes that he knows are currently in the ship. And the best way to plug the hole now is by maintaining the interviewees and the participants that he already has and maximizing and building upon those storylines, especially if they are people that he can also rely on for possible spicy content. Because I don't think that right now Marcus is interested in introducing new people into the spicy content unless they are people whose age is undeniable, inambiguous, right? But Marcus has a lot of sense. He knows that right now probably wouldn't be the time to do that. But on the interview side, he knows that there's a built for people like Tone and Ileana. There's a built-in audience for people like Polo. There's a built-in audience for people like Feisty and even Tragedy. There's a built-in audience for a Chaos, a K3. Marcus knows this. And so you can expect, in fact, I predict that there will come a time in the very soon future where you will see him kind of rekindle relationships with some of the interviewees that he's kind of had some dissent with over the last 2 to 3 months. You can expect him to rekindle those relationships and to try if there's a little bit more juice in some of those relationships and interview ships. Because at the end of the day, with Marcus, it's always going to be about the content. And once you understand that about him, your relationship with him becomes a lot easier to manage. Marcus is content driven, and the content will always come before the morale or the morality. It will always come before the ethics. It will always respect. There's no way in hell he's a better man than fucking Tragedy. Are you kidding me? How? 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 If Tragedy had a blue Jeep and a platform, the equivalent of Marcus's, who do you think is the come on, come on, come on. Come on. Can we be real? Fuck. See, Marcus, I fuck with you even though I don't fuck with you. So I'm not gonna lie to you or play with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. You feel me? Cause I fuck with you. Even though I don't fuck with you. But you being a better man, or you being the man who has the moral mandate. Imagine that. You being the nigga that God gave the moral mandate to check Tragedy. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't think God gave you the moral mandate to check Tragedy, me, or any in this space or any other space because respectfully, you lack more of what it takes to be a man than even some trans people I know. You see, if being a man was about how many women you could sleep with in as short a period of time as you could, Marcus, absolutely, you would run the gamut. You would literally run the clock. You would literally run that space. But because I know that being a man and because I know that manhood is about way more than who you sleep with and how many times you sleep with them, it's very difficult to obfuscate from me the reality of what manhood entails. And while there's an argument for tragedy not meeting every standard, every benchmark, yeah, there's room for that argument. Absolutely. But equally, there is room for the argument that neither do you, sir. Neither do you. Neither do you. I'm willing to debate you on this. Like we could literally like have a whole on-screen debate about manhood and how your behaviors do not exemplify manhood at all. Your behaviors are a toxic distortion of manhood that we should all fear our sons following. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's room for that debate to be had. Mm hmm. Mm hmm. Yeah, Mr. Marcus. There's room for that debate. Because I'm not going to lie, on some level, like, I feel like in terms of manhood, even I got it over you. Yeah. I know for a fact I'm more sexually disciplined than you. And that to me is a big part of manhood as well, sexual discipline. And I know that even as loose as I am, even as reeky as I am, even as actually open as I am, I know I got more actual discipline than you because you sleep with the type of people I could never even imagine. The F? I ain't gonna hold you. Respectfully. So I know at the very least I have more actual discipline than you. And discipline is as much a part of masculinity as demurity is to femininity. To be in control of one's urges, passions, lustful quests. Oh, yeah, that's a masculine thing. Absolutely. Imagine being a man who knows he could fuck any and everything on earth with no questions asked, but has the discipline to not take advantage of that. See, some of y'all got life fucked up. Cause in my mind, that's a very attractive thing. Yeah, very. So that's my reaction to the latest spat of ASI videos that have come out over the last week, many of which have been fluff, cotton candy, literal cotton candy. Cotton candy content creation. 4 C's. Cotton candy content creation based upon the fact that a content creator may realize that or anticipate that 80% of his or her viewership are people possessing the IQ of a baked potato. Being so ethically poor that they are willing to leverage the ignorance and toxicity of that 80% of their audience in order to put out nonsense and fluff not worthy of an ant's attention span, but because of the nostalgic pull nature of said content, will no doubt garner even a unwitting audience or that is going along to get along. Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's pretty much it. Who else is in here? Because Vegas 77 been commenting. We are coming up on an hour and 35 minutes in here. We had 12 people. We got 10 likes. We could get those likes up to 2 more to 12. Have more likes, but I'll be honest with y'all. I already know. Hey, Daria. How you doing, sweet face? I'm not gonna get the amount of likes a lot of people. I don't got the look. I get it. I don't give a shit though. Fuck you. And I'm real. Like I really be saying a lot of shit that a lot of CCs wanna say, but won't say, can't say, refuse to say, scared. Like I just be keeping it a buck. So I already know that it's a very small space in these YouTube streets for content creators like me who aren't gonna bandwagon, aren't gonna dick ride, are gonna call it like we see it, and who really there's not a lot of blocks in these YouTube streets that are dedicated to us. And that's fine. I don't care. I really don't. So I could have 30, 40 people in my live and get 10 likes. But the other 30 people is staying right there until I log off. Or until the live ends. But they're not gonna click that like button. I get it. And then I'm dark skinned. Oh, I'm not dumb. Oh yeah, I'm dark skinned. As hell though. Let me just say that. So no regret on my side about that because the melanin is definitely melanating. Even through the makeup, the melanating melanates. But I do realize that in the space of social media where colorism is allowed to fester in a way that is a lot more unchallenged or a lot less challenged, sure, it puts people like me in a situation where we gotta fight for things a little bit more. But I don't give a damn. And to be honest with you, I'm not even finna be fighting. I don't give a fuck. I'm not fight for what. I don't care. Got me fucked up. Mm-mm. I don't care. I'm nobody but me. I will never be anything but me. Yeah, that type of energy all the time. Marcus, as I close out, let me say this to you directly. I don't know what your issue is with tragedy, because he's certainly not the worst guy that you come in contact with on your platform. He's not the most shiftless. He's not the laziest. He's not the do lestest or leastest. So again, I don't know what personal gripe with bro is. But whatever, if you was a real man, if you I'm talking about like a real man, like my father, like my daddy, like my oldest brother, my big brother. If you was a real man, you would reach out to him off of YouTube. It wouldn't be no content involved. We probably would never even hear, or know it happened. But you would reach out to that man and you would say, bro, I got an issue with you. And you would link up with that nigga to solve that. You wouldn't try to keep with the contenting of the problem and giving us this cringe-worthy content of you trying to interact with a nigga you have no respect for. You see what I mean? Like if I ever want to put hands on you, I would literally just hit you up and be like, bro, what you doing Saturday? Can you meet me at what's a good location we could meet? You got gloves? Like what's a good, and nobody on here would know about this but me and you. Nobody. But you use these people. And can you imagine trying to make people feel like they owe you something when you benefited more? Whatever you say about any of your interviewees, hey K Duckworth, how you doing, sweet face? Whatever you say about your interviewees, Marcus, none of your interviewees, not one, have benefited from their interaction with you more than you benefited from your interaction with them. And I'm speaking financially because ultimately, with people like you, I know that that's the only thing that matters anyway, is how you benefit financially. So there's no point in bringing up the young man who's in college because that's not a financial thing. That's more about altruism and empathy, and we know that you don't give a shit about all that kind of stuff. So we're not going to try to pretend and play ourselves into the delusion of contexting or seeing what I'm talking about under the context of anything morality driven. Kay Duckworth says, I hope she leaves him because she can do much better anywhere she goes. Listen, Kay Duckworth, that is a separate argument from the argument that I'm making tonight in this live cast. My argument tonight is not about whether or not, and this is respectful, K Duckworth, because you know I fuck with you the long way. My argument tonight or rant tonight is not in any way related to whether or not Feisty can do better than tragedy. It is simply about whether or not Marcus, of all people, is the arbiter or decider of this man's worth or value. My argument is more about the fact that Marcus is not in any way, shape, or fucking form other than wallet better than tragedy. I mean, any woman in her, I think that most women, I'm talking, and I'm not even talking niggas, I'm talking about women. If tragedy and Marcus are in the exact same financial position, who do you think most women is fucking with? You think it's the nigga that look like he's about to walk into preschool? You can't be that crazy. I know you ain't that crazy. Okay, Duckworth says, not him, I'm talking about mucus. Oh, say less. I stand corrected. See how simple that was? Then I stand corrected. Because my whole thing is like, I'm not even trying to say you the worst in the world. That's the thing. You're not. It's just that when I compare you to tragedy, when I compare you to chaos, these are better men than you. Morally, ethically, they're better men than you. That's all I'm saying. They're better men than you. They're better men. Yes, they are. You damn right they are. Yes, the fuck they are. Absolutely they are. How could they not be? Because they don't got two fucking daughters that they can brainwash? The fuck? How can they not be? They're way better men than Marcus. Even if they're not better financially off. Y'all be thinking that somehow because a nigga got more money than somebody, somehow is an indication that they must be a better person because God is blessing them the way he's not blessing the other people. So that must be an indication that no, some of what you're seeing is not even blessings. Some of what you looking at when you look at this man and you think it's not even a blessing, it's Satan's rewards. Right, K Duckworth. They are better fucking humans. They are. They just are. They just are. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was broken down on the highway and I'm driving my 13-year-old niece, right, on the highway, and let's say our car breaks down because we run out of cash, out of there's a gas station 30 minutes away, but I would have to walk to the gas station. My niece, who is 13 years old, does not walk to the gas station. And I'm like, well, we need gas. And I don't want to leave you alone. But there's two good Samaritans who walk up and both of them volunteer to keep an eye on her, on my little niece, while I'm going to the gas station. One of them is Marcus and one of them is Tragedy. I gotta go to the gas station and fill up this little red container of gas so that we could get out of danger and get back on the road. So I say, you know what, Nisi? You got my number. You got your phone. If it's any issue, call me. I'm going to walk the 30 minutes. I'm going to get the gas. I'm going to put it in this container. I'm going to walk back. I want you to stay here with this kind gentleman. Don't open the windows. Don't lower the windows. Stay in the car. Keep the car locked at all times. If it's between tragedy and this nigga as to which one that I would want to be standing by my car when I'm gone, it's tragedy. Damn it, it's tragedy. It's tragedy. Tell me I'm wrong. Check me. Check me. Who gonna check me? Put in the comments if I'm wrong. Who gonna check me? Who gonna check me? You damn right, K. Duckworth. It's you. I'm right. Yeah, I'm so glad you're talking about this. I'm glad I am too, because it ain't enough people talking about this. And it's like this mother effer gets to get on YouTube and act like he's so much better than these other men that he interviews simply because he's in a position that those same men put him in. He think he put them in a position. No, nigga, they put you in position. But he thinks that because they don't have a lease with their name on it. Because to be honest with you, that's really the only thing that's separate. What the fuck else is separating most of these men from Marcus but a lease? Is Marcus somehow some pious saint that they're not? Is he somehow full of sexual and moral integrity? What's what separates Marcus from them? Y'all know what it is, and I know what it is, and we know what it is. It's his wallet. And it's only his fucking wallet, and it will only ever be his wallet. Because there is no other metric where a Marcus Ferris ends up being a better catch than a fucking tragedy. Period. 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 There's no other metric where a Marcus ends up being a better fucking catch ends up being a better catch to any woman. That bitch ass nigga. He think it give Atlanta Falcons now. Yeah, when I'm dressed out, bruh. And what female don't want to be with a nigga built like a whole Atlanta Falcon as opposed to a nigga built like Tiny Tim from the fucking Scrooge story. Like, bruh, honestly, what do you think you giving these women? Like, what you think it is about you that got women so, like, in a uproar or a tizzy over you? If that's even the case. Cause I ain't buying it. You be saying it, but I ain't jacking it. Cause you sleeping with women that I'ma tell you right now, I do not sleep with the equivalent of those men. Absolutely not. No, no, no. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can say what you want about me. But I know for a fact, even if I was 100% straight man, like, it's quite a few of them motherfucking females that you done been in bed with that. Man, shit. Ain't no in hell. Like, what the hell? K Duckworth says, I hope you let her know it's okay to move on away from Marcus because him tell her to kiss the ring was it was very disrespectful. Like, bitch, I shoved that ring up your ass. You come here with that content house talk and ask me if I'm gonna kiss the ring and see what, because ain't nobody kissing shit over here. The only way me and you will ever have a working relationship is for you to get on this bitch and tell everybody that you spoke to me crazy, that looking back on it, you realize you was wrong. Yeah. Yeah. The fuck? That's what integrity look like, though. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like, but it also looks like something else. It also looks like a nigga being able to say, you know what? As much as I hate to say it, you right. I was wrong. I disrespected you and I violated and I shouldn't have. And yeah, I'm about to go public and handle this. Same way I disrespected you in public. You see that, y'all? See the difference? You see why I'm a better fucking man than Marcus? You see? Go to my community post. Look at 2 weeks ago or a week ago when I thought Queen Tulsa said something about me on Tasha K's show and I went in on her. And then I found out because people let me know she was talking about a whole nother Dominique. And you look at how I handled it. That's how a man handles shit. Skirt, dress, heels, pump. I don't give a fuck. That's how a man handles shit. That nigga he will never. Trust me when I tell y'all. You could follow this nigga to the depths away. So that's not even a stretch. You could follow this nigga to the depths of hell. There's never gonna come a time when he say he was. You never gonna see him admit that he was wrong and how he came to my house on that bullshit. Say he was wrong in terms of how our interactions and relationship fell apart. Cause he's a pussy. And you can't expect that from bussies. You can only expect that from real ones. Only real ones. You understand what I'm saying? So say what you want about tragedy. He a real one. You can say what you want. He's still a real one though. Yeah. 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 He a real one. Yeah. And this nigga is just because tragedy could be a real one without half a quarter or maybe even 10% of what Marcus got in his bank account. And that bothers Marcus. And then to top it off, the fact that tragedy never went along with that foursome and told Marcus on live, I wasn't with that shit. I didn't know Cash was no nigga. Hell no, I wasn't finna be with it. And even if I was gonna be down with some shit like that, why the fuck would you think I'm gonna do that on live or on a spicy where the world know about it? See, Polo got some sense. I mean, well, shit, him. Be nice, just be nice. You made a mistake, let it go. Just go along with it, let it ride. All right, bet. Yeah. So, like I said, no, tragedy got a little bit of sense. I don't know what tragedy got on behind closed doors, but he made it clear that whatever it was, he wasn't going to let it be displayed in open doors. That bothered Mark. That means that Marcus's bag was affected. And I tell you something, Mark, think what y'all want. I don't give a damn, but Marcus never got over that. That lie when a lot of y'all tried to say tragedy knew what was going on. Tragedy ain't no shit. That nigga's a whole stoner, a smoker, maybe even a bit of a tweaker. I don't know. But I know he's aloof. And I know that he didn't know what all they thought he knew. And Mark has been bothered by that. Marcus, K. Duckworth says he can't work with you because you are too real for him. Marcus is jealous of Polo. Yes, he is. And no, I don't think me and Marcus would ever be able to work together. I don't. That's why if you notice with every week the gloves come off more and more. Because what's the point in keeping the gloves on? Nigga, we can't work together. Yeah, I'll put it to you this way. The only sign that could see that me and Marcus could work together is that Marcus would get on this internet and say, I fucked up when it comes to Dominique. I misunderstood Dominique. I didn't realize Dominique was as accomplished as Dominique is. I didn't realize Dominique was intelligent as Dominique is. I didn't realize Dominique could benefit my platform the way Dominique probably could benefit my platform. And as a result, treated Dominique like typical content. And because of that, I lost Dominique. Do y'all know that those very words would like go a long way, but they'll never come. They'll it take listen, the type of manhood that it takes to say some shit like that. That man don't have that. See, this is why I'm saying like he's no better than a tragedy. And if anything, tragedy's better than him. Marcus is never gonna own up to his wrong. He's not. He's not gonna tell y'all he's not gonna sit here and tell y'all, you know what? That I knew she was 17, but in my heart of hearts, I compare her to my daughters. Comparing her to my daughters, I realized that both of my daughters looked older than her. I definitely felt in my soul that this was somebody 17 or younger. But I was weak at the time. I didn't do my due diligence. I saw the possibility, beautiful young lady. See, Marcus is not going to ever say none of that to y'all. He's not. He'll never tell y'all that. But I promise y'all that that's probably more closer to the real, actual narrative. But you're just never going to hear him. You'll never hear him say that. So, I guess that's pretty much Monique After Dark on this mother effing Saturday late night. I thank everybody who pushed up. The Cash App is ASHABZ. And I'm not trying to be messy or anything like that. I'm just calling out like what I see as a bunch of BS. And I hate the fact that a little fucking midget with a camera on his scalp can run around Atlanta projecting himself to be better, more masculine, more in control of his faculties than his male interviewees, while making decisions. Excuse me. While making decisions that interviewees wouldn't even fucking make. You can't make this shit up. Like, what? And I'm challenging anybody to call me out. I don't care who, call me out. Check me. Where am I wrong? Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. Mark is not a better man than Tragedy on Tragedy's worst fucking day. Feisty Atlanta, Feisty ATL. And make sure you let her know I'm talking about her man. So I ain't on no sucker shit, no weird shit. That's my nephew. This ain't nothing about that. But I ain't finna let this nigga just play in Tragedy face like Tragedy is like. Imagine the worst thing you could say about somebody is they don't got a roof over their head. You ain't never heard about Tragedy having no criminal past, no weird behavior past. Ain't nobody got on these internets trying to expose fight a Tragedy for anything wild. There's literally a whole fucking child whose parents are preparing a lawsuit against a certain CC. But somehow, I and you are supposed to believe that that man, that individual, is the pillar of what? Honor, ethics, morality, loyalty. What? 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 Nah, y'all got life fucked up. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Mm-mm. Y'all got life fucked up. K. Duckworth says, thank you, you are right. Well, I hope I am. I believe I am. In my soul, I believe I am. I know I am. I know I am. The only metric that any woman or man could decide that Marcus is better, a better human being than Tragedy or Chaos or K3 or me would be wallet based. Because in terms of morality, he has shown us numerous times that his morality is at best equal to or less than either of the people previously mentioned. Shit. You know damn well if your 15, 16-year-old daughter was lost, you will hope she runs into Polo before she runs into this nigga. I would damn near pray she runs into Polo before she runs into this nigga. So how's he more morale than Polo? How's he more morale or a better man than Tragedy? Shit, I would pray she run into Tragedy before she run into Polo or this nigga. He says lost. Hmm. I probably at first hope she went into a chaos. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all realize that y'all could still be a fan of a show and not be a fan of a nigga? You okay? Do you realize that you could still enjoy ASI as a platform while using enough of your common sense to deduce or deduct what is real from what is not, from what makes sense from what does not or never will? That this is not a zero sum game. This is not, that's why the beauty of these YouTube streets is that you really don't have to pick a side because you can love the content and barely like the content creator. Yeah, you can do that. hmm Compartmentalization. Absolutely. Why couldn't you? We're grown, we're adults, we're built for that. It's why I could click play on Atlanta Street's interview video. Know that the minute I click play, Marcus is gonna benefit from it and not give a shit. Because I balance that with getting on here and talking exactly how I'm talking right now, popping my shit, right? Letting people need shout out to Vibes Queen. That's how we balance that. Like, yeah, I'm subscribed to ASI. Yeah. When it's good, it's good. When it's good, it's really good. It just hasn't been that in a long time. Yeah. It's not been that in a long time. hmm But this is where we are. And this is what it is. And we're not gonna shy away from that. We're gonna compliment ASI when it deserves it. We'll even compliment Marcus when it deserves it. That's how real I am. Because my whole thing is, even if you hate watching, right? And I'm not even hate watching, but let's say for those of you who are hate watching, I hope that you real enough to at least keep it a buck when the buck needs to be kept. Like if Marcus pull up tomorrow with some fire content that's compelling and good, and you sit your hateful on to watch it, I hope you'll at least be real enough to say, like, I ain't gonna lie, that was some good shit. Cause see, that's what makes me and a lot of y'all so different. Cause I would like, there's no amount of hate or disgust that I would have towards a Marcus that I couldn't be honest if comes out with a piece of content that's just that effing good, compelling. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like as personal as this might sound. It's not. It's not, y'all. It's not. It's not. You let Marcus release a video tomorrow where he runs into some new young couple or some new young person going through some life's peril, and you know the outcome is dependent upon the help of the audience and I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm not anti ASI. Let me be 100% clear with y'all, despite anything I say, some of the music. This is not a SI thing. It's not. It's an anti bullshit thing. What's the anti bullshit thing? So it could be ASI, TSI, MSI, FBI, ABC, TBS, LBC. I don't care. I just don't be with the bullshit. You feel me? Or don't. Marcus don't like Tone. Tone don't like Marcus. What we're seeing is a band-aid being applied to a fucking wound. The brand has been wounded, and the best band-aid in that situation is continuity, meaning familiarity, and people involved in the channel who have a history and who have a built-in fan base, a built-in hate base, because little do you know, in this space, a hate base is important as a fan base. And depending upon who you are, believe it or not, your hate base might make you more money than your fan base. Ain't that some shit? But it's real. Don't believe me? Ask ChatGPT or somebody. Shit. But in this space, sometimes your hate base will make you more money than your fan base, because see, here's the thing, your fan base might like every video that they watch ever make without liking a single one of them, but you're going to get that view. You're going to get that view. You'll get that view for sure. As close out, guys, what I want y'all to understand and recognize is that, and this is to the grown people in this space, because I realize that with Atlanta Street Interviews, the demographic for that particular channel is not one that you can parse down into a specific number. People watch Atlanta Street Interviews in their fucking teens, and they watch them as grandparents. It is what it is. What I will say to you all is this: if you really appreciate and love the brand the way I do, that sounds crazy, right? Because I said the way I do, not the way I did, but the way I do. Because I do. I love the brand ASI, but I also realize that contextually, I love it more for what it was than what it is. But I also love it for what it can be. But it can't be that if we are afraid to keep our foot on the neck of, it can't be if we are, it can't be if we are afraid to hold accountable. What Marcus Ferris has created for the YouTube streets is undeniably has been, I mean, it's been an undeniable force. I think that when you think about street interviews, because keep in mind, you got them in Detroit street interviews, Memphis street interviews, you get LA street interviews, Hollywood street, like, but there's something about Atlanta street fucking interviews that has sent the internet into a tizzy for years. It is what it is. Out of 50 states, I would venture to say at least 30 of them have a street interviews corner in these YouTube. The ASI corner has captivated the YouTube streets in a specifically different way. You can't take that away from bro. You can't. You can't. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm from New York City. And as somebody from New York who is like has been raised and reared to keep it real and not worry about feelings and just be raw and just go with it and just say what need to be said, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when it come to me and you, bro, if I can't curse you out and like let you know, well, we could never be. That's what we do. Like we, you know what I'm saying? Me and my bros, like my sisters, like we sometimes we have our moments where you feel me. We gotta let each other know like what's really good, and then we spray ourselves off and we keep it moving. But I know your sensitive ass can't handle that type shit. I do know that, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. It ain't something I ever expected from a nigga like you. You did complex. You already got the complex going on. You dealing with that. You know what I mean? And then, and I'm not saying like I'm some baddie or nothing, but you know you an average ass nigga. You know that if you ought to pick, it's because there's nobody else to pick from. So when you dealing with that type of nigga, like your sensitivity levels, like I don't know what you thought my self esteem was like when you came in my house with that BS, but whatever you might think of me personally, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. As far as self esteem and how me views me, oh, oh no. Mm. You couldn't have, that you was not going to ever be able to affect. You couldn't. You couldn't. Because I will pull more niggas than you as a bitch, and I will pull more females than you as a nigga. It's as simple as that. Yeah, that's a fact. Yup. Yup. As a biatch, I'll pull more niggas than you. And as a female, I'll pull more than you. It is what it is. That's the truth. So I don't even know why you would have felt like, did you not think that I knew that or something? Did you think that I thought something different? Did you think that I thought that some 2 foot nigga was so above me? Like what? Like what did you think I thought? Or was it like what? Nigga. Bruh. You like content. If you don't believe nothing I'm saying, let's just put it to the test, like nigga. I dress out of all this trans shit, cross dresser shit, whatever you want to call it. And we could just like let's just go to like some random, but not in Atlanta at all. Like let's go to like a Lithonia, whatever. Like you know what I'm saying? Me completely dressed out. I'm talking about a straight up nigga. Well, I would have to buy. Well, I don't know how much. Well, I'll figure it out. But we do that, and I'll show you better than I could tell you, bro. You definitely not no threat to me, so I know you not no threat to tragedy. You not a threat to him. He's a threat to yours. And that's the reason why you keep coming at him so sharply, effing fucking strong. Like, why do you keep doing that to him? What did he like? What did his girl done did more to you than he has done? I say that respectfully, Feisty. You know, you my niece. Got mad love for you, but I'm just saying. You done violated this nigga more than your man had. So why is his energy towards your man so damn strong? Like what's going on? Like what is the reason? Allen, somebody to Troy, the bishop, somebody to what satellites, Vibes Queen, Mo. My favorite cousin, you know who you are with your little cute self. Somebody tell me what the F it is. Like, why is his energy toward tragedy? Do y'all remember the last time he ran into CJ, what his energy was like? Even that energy was not as strong as his energy for tragedy. Why? Why? You gotta be this. You know what? I don't be trying to disrespect his followers and his subscribers. Damn it, I'm a subscriber. You ain't see me hit the unsubscribe button yet. Keep it at a buck. Just saying, ain't like I done hit the unsubscribe button. I'm still watching Summer Bro content. But I just be wondering, like, what be making people buy into the content so much that they believe that he's that much better than most of the men he comes in fucking contact with. In fact, I would register that the reason why he's able to come in contact with these particular types of men who y'all would perceive as being lower level men in society. How about that? Hi, ya. That's what I would say. Maybe the reason why he's able to come in contact with them is because he's level or lower. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Where's the fuck is the interview with the banker who's going through a divorce with his wife and has two kids that they're trying to balance out the fucking time spent with? Where's that interview? Where's the interview with the financial guru who happens to be YT, who's struggling with his sexuality? Why you don't get those? You can't. You never. You ain't no way hell you get those interviews. You can't get them interviews, bro. You can't. You can't, and you won't ever. And so you're flailing now because you've now got to go back into the nostalgic archive of your viewers and basically trot out Tone and Ileana and their children. And it's so transparent. It's so see through. That's what makes it so bad. It's not the fact that you do it is not bad. The fact that you do it in a way that is so apparent is what's really bad. We see it. Hi, pure integrity. How are you? I hope you and your family are well. Nice of you to join me. But yeah, bro, we see it, we get it, we know it, we like it is what it is. But you're flailing. And you're flailing because Rather than off rip take responsibility for wherever you allegedly may have. Bro, are you listening to them words I just said? Because I'm going to repeat them just in case. Rather than you take responsibility for where you may have or allegedly have screwed, you feel as if you can bulldoze over those by taking us on this trip down memory lane with these sort of favorite or polarizing characters within the ASI bubble. You feel as if you put those things before us, we'll forget about everything that has gone on or transpired in the last 3 weeks. And I don't think it's working the way you think it would. And so you feel like you can add to that if you create more caustic and more violating and disrespecting people. Because right now, to be honest with you, all you care about right now, Marcus, is a 1 out of 10 video. You recognize that the brand is at risk. You realize that it will likely cost you a great deal of money to mitigate that risk. And so, yeah, you're basically calculating that it's worth it to kind of denigrate, disrespect, violate, um, create content where people could possibly attack you or feel disrespected and respond accordingly because you know that the end result, because 90% like the sickest fucking people that have ever walked the face of this earth. And you know that. You know that. You know that like 80, 90% of your audience are so debased and disgusting that those things wouldn't bother them at all. So you know, it's like you literally, it's kind of like, you ever been on the highway and like you're literally the only car in your lane, and so like you can do anything you wanted to do. Like you can go as fast as you want, you could swerve, you could, like, you know, it's nobody else is in your lane, sir. It seems to me that that's how you feel, and that's the direction from which your content comes from. And like I said, I know I have some of your followers as mine. We share some of the same for sure. But I got to think I got the good ones. I got the good ones because not all your followers are bad people. Not all of them are disgusting human beings. Not all of them are horrible human beings. But no lie, no tea, no shade. A lot of them have to be. Gots to be. Because the shit that you do, it takes a certain lack of humanity to uphold. And that's the difference between supporting your content and supporting you. And that is the difference between people like me and a few others whom I won't name, is that we don't hate you. We don't wish you ill will. But we are willing to call out the bullshit. And we can do it without foaming at the mouth. We can do it without doing it every fucking day in and day out and six times a damn. How do y'all, some of y'all do, like, how do y'all, like, what do you, some of y'all get on the toilet, I swear to God, I believe nothing comes out your rear end but A's, S's, and I's. I don't know how y'all do it. But as for me, yeah, I could call you out, bro, and still like fuck with your content to a certain extent. Cause it's really not like, and mind you, this is a situation where this might be one of them situations where if it was personal, who could even argue that, you know what I mean? Like if this was personal, bro, keep in mind, if this was personal, come on. Who would say anything? Who would say, "Oh, Dominique, this shouldn't be"? You came into my house, into my place of residence, and tried me, and it's still not personal. It's not. It's not personal. This whole live began with me talking about how I went at somebody else had nothing to do with me, but like it's just a, bro, your nerve is a little up there. Your nerve, your gall, your audacity is a little bit up there for a man whose greatest accomplishment in life is two beautiful girls. Like honestly, bro, respectfully, them girl, like literally, like what board have you been on? Have you ever been? I've been on. Have you ever been on? I'm not even gonna go there. Have you ever been on a board of anything? Entrusted with leading any organization? Your greatest contribution to society is the fact that you have produced two young women to be on the cusp of great things in life. I don't think anyone can say anything different watching those young ladies. They are poised. They seem very well spoken, well educated, and if I'm being honest, they appear to be well reared. It would take a certain amount of evil, I think, in any human being to either not recognize that or to speak against it or wish otherwise. I fall into neither of those categories. I can critique a Marcus Ferris's content without involving his children in a negative way or without expressing any wishes, hopes, or desires for his demise. Because at the end of the day, given that my perception is that those young ladies are really decent, well rounded young ladies, I ultimately would hope that whatever position he's in will allow him to continue to make sure that that continues to be the case, if that makes sense. Let me look at these comments. Pure Integrity says, I tell you, the real Marcus is very intimidated by Tragedy's high good looks and can pull the female jealousy. Yeah. And Pure Integrity says, the thing, like, y'all could say what y'all, I'm telling y'all, Tragedy sat in my house. And I'm telling y'all that in real life, I'm talking about in real life, not on the internet. That's a very handsome young man. And I'll tell you something else about him that might surprise y'all. And this is Jesus Christ. Feisty, I swear to God. This is respectfully. But the young man smelled nice. He looked good. He smelled nice. And as I said, other than the lighter snafu incident or moment, conducted himself with more respect, at least in my space, than Marcus did within his first 5 minutes. I think that fucking says a lot. And you could be in these comments windmilling against or for or however the fuck you feel or want to. But if you don't have enough common sense to at least accept the perspective of a person who had these individuals in their home, then I don't know what to tell you. Then that just says a lot about your level of ignorance, and it's a level I want no parts of. Cause I'm telling you right now, I can't tell you who to hate, who to love, who to like. If Tragedy behaves something that I find extremely objectionable, you will see me out here speaking against it vociferously as anyone else. But when it comes to a measurement of him and Marcus as human beings, as human, no, listen to me. Not about content, not about money. Not even about looks, dare I say. Tragedy got Marcus beat, and y'all fucking know it. And if you try to get in my comments and tell me I'm wrong, please tell me exactly how the F I'm wrong. To say that Tragedy ain't got it in spades over Marcus, or at the minimum, the equivalent of a Marcus. How? 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 Which one of y'all ladies, if they financially in the exact same position, is finna choose a Marcus over a Tragedy? Bitch, I know you fucking lying. Oh, I know you fucking lying. Oh, I know you lying. Ah, ah, ah. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I know you fucking lying. I know you lying. I would have to see that with my own two everythings. Cause what in the hell? What? And the thing is, if you listen to Tragedy, he actually even sound more intelligent than Marcus when he's out of his stoner moments. Tragedy is not even a dumb nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Bro, not evil, but Tragedy certainly is not a dumb nigga. No. Stop playing with tragedy, bruh. Stop playing with him. Stop playing with chaos. Stop playing with K3. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, stop playing with them boys. Cause every one of them got something on you, bruh. I'm gonna tell you right. Every single one of them niggas that you be trying to play, if y'all was in the exact same financial position, they got you beat all day, all hours of the day, every day, every time, in damn near every way that counts. They got it on you. All of them. Bruh, literally, all of them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They all got it on you, bruh. See, you get fooled by these old low class, low self esteem ass, I've been struggling fighting my whole life ass women on here that constantly pump you up and make you think you that nigga and got you thinking that, 3'2" is the new 6'3". Nigga, the new 3'2" is never gonna be the new 6'3". Let me just be very clear about that. Nigga, a 2-foot woman don't want a 4-foot man. Do you? Ask them. They will tell you they don't want that. Bruh, they don't want not coming with some bank, if you're not coming with a coin, don't even pull up, don't show up, don't come. Straight like that. The only way you ever gonna be winning over a nigga like Tragedy, over a nigga like me, yeah, bitch, me. The only way you ever winning over a nigga like Chaos, the only way you ever winning over a nigga like Charles is to have more integrity, to have more honor, to have more dignity, and to have more ethics. That's the only way you can ever win over any of those people I just named. There is no other path for you. Absent those things, honor, dignity, morality, integrity, ethics. Absent you winning in those departments, you become equal at best and less at worst. The wallet will not save you. It can only take you but so far. Being relegated to the sugar daddy nigga position or the friend with benefits position. By the way, positions I've never, and let me be clear, never will find my motherfucking self in. But you got life fucked up. You got life effed up. Because never in a day. Never in a day. Just because you're a sugar daddy, just because you're a YouTube sector trick, Baby, that don't make you better. It don't. In some ways, Tone is a better man than you. I ain't gonna hold you. Cause see, remember, I know him personally. So like y'all see him through the lens of YouTube or whatever the case may be, but I promise y'all, in some ways, yeah, Tone is a better nigga than you, bro. Yeah, absolutely. In some ways, he's a better man than you. Cause ultimately, Marcus, cause you know me, I put a name on it. Ultimately, you're a man with a gun and a camera. Imagine that. What a threat. A man with a camera and a gun. And this is how I know 90% of your audience are some of the weirdest mother effers. They watch you these YouTube streets judging these young men. Some of them who never, like, you had your father and your mother, right? And you're, I'm not going to touch upon the dad's briefcase thing because it strikes me that there's a possibility that there's some deeper ish related to that. So I'm going to stay away from that. But here's what I will say. You sit in these YouTube streets in strong judgment of these young men who many of them have had no father, no uncle, no strong continuous male role model or influence in their lives, while you brag about the fact that you benefited from mom and dad, right? But yet you make the same reckless decisions as many of these young men. And if you put those decisions into context, you actually make decisions that are more reckless than a lot of these young men. So with that understanding, right? If you take what I just said as a fact, and it is, right? It's a fact, it's an arguable fact, but it's a fact. How are you better? In what area? Like, how do you feel as if you are the author of these young men's success? Where you feel like you could tell them, anything. Like you literally making the same kind of reckless decisions that they make, and the only thing that secures you from your recklessness is your wallet, right? Because maybe God only knows how many women or girls or females you may have allegedly had to pay off, right? To get you out of a legal situation, right? Um, but somehow this makes you better. Somehow you are now like Mr. YouTube sector morality police. Nah, no, that's not what we doing. Mm. You're not no better. What does this say? Pure Integrity says Marcus have better be careful the way he addresses people without shelter because he could very well be next not to have money, food, or shelter. People reap what they do to others. Yeah, that's absolutely true, pure integrity. Like, what the fuck? Like, like, even with me, like, when we did the interview and, as he was leaving out the door, he mentioned that, he loaned me $100 because my lights were out or whatever, right? And it's like, if that does not show you the type of an individual that you're dealing with, the lack of humanity, the belief that they are somehow so high and far away and above it all that they could never experience any moment of hardship or even great calamity, right? Because losing one's lights for a brief period is actually a basic hardship. It's not like the end all be all. um could have been a lot worse than that. So for him to even think of one of the most basic forms of hardship as something to be exploited and to be weaponized, to me, just goes to show you the kind of individual that this is. Very flawed, very much out of touch with reality, and particularly the realities of everyday people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, but I get it. I think that there's an element of people in the short men society for whom, when they are short, because they cannot physically elevate themselves around anyone, they will try to emotion. They will try to behave in ways, conduct themselves in ways, purport themselves in ways that elevate themselves in terms of their humanity, in terms of their ethics, morality, especially morality. Because in a country like America, if you can if you can maximize the morality aspect of it all, you can make a lot of money. And so, if you can create this idea that you are above all of the people that you interact with or critiqued or otherwise, then you're in a really good space. And I think that Marcus figured that out early on and successfully capitalized on that. Pure integrity says facts are we know where we've been, but we do not know what lies ahead. For sure, exactly. We know where, but we don't lie. We don't know what lies ahead. None of us know. None of us have any idea, and none of us will know. It's called short man syndrome. This is exactly what Marcus deals with, and I agree with that. At least I believe that. I personally do believe that. And as a result, because he knows he can't elevate physically, he tries to elevate above other men socially and in a way that allows him to cheat the physical card. So physically, I could downgrade you socially and I could memify you and I could make you look lesser than, because the more I make your light dim, the more I'm gonna keep my light burning. That's what it gives with Mr. Ferris. And again, I'm proud of you, Tragedy. I hope you see this. And if you haven't, somebody tag Feisty ATL, and make sure that she sees it, because I'm sure she'll direct his attention to it. But Tragedy, I gotta give it to you, bro. I'm type proud of you. Like, you know what I mean? We came a long way, bro. Tragedy, we've come a long way. We started with me wanting to box you, and you pulled down on me. And bro, I needed that bread at that moment. That was the only reason I wanted to fight you. It wasn't even nothing personal. I just knew I could get a quick bag. And then by the time you got ready for me, I didn't need the bag no more. Shit, I don't need it now. And so I pulled out on you. Well, I didn't pull out because I had never agreed. But I just said, nah, I'm good. I'm straight. I don't need it. You know what I mean? So there's some history. But I gotta tell you, the way you handle bro, that's the way you handle bro. But next time you just gotta just step it up just like a little notch. Just just a little, like you could trip dude. Like, you could, a little trip ain't gonna hurt nothing. A little trip dude on there. No, I'm just playing with you. No, I'm Pure Integrity says Marcus has many insecurities. I believe he does. I believe his height is an insecurity. I've never seen his. I don't even want to see that. I don't. But I've heard on YouTube and off YouTube. This means I've heard through content and I've heard through non-content that was going on down there. Ooh, I don't talk under people's clothes. Because I wouldn't want nobody talking under mine. But at least if you talk under mine, you're going to need a yardstick. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm one of them people like, you could talk under my clothes. Yeah. Yeah. Get all up under them. Yeah, let me move this over. Hold on, y'all. Let me move this over so they can talk under. You can talk, chat, yell, scream, bitch. You could text under my clothes because I ain't got no shame about what's going on under these clothes, baby. Trust me when I tell you, we ain't mad about what God gave us under these clothes. In fact, uh, and won't He do it? Cause He did it. That type of energy. So yeah, you is perfectly welcome to go all up under this skirt, move the thong over, yeah, and get and talk. But what you gonna say? Cause bitch, you gonna have to use. Ooh. Oh. Let me see. Pure Integrity says, in the mind of Marcus, S X makes him feels like all right. X makes him feel big and tall to take advantage of women that has less than he does, or women that's in need of food, shelter, and a couple dollars. Yeah, there's some elements. I mean, there's definitely you can't disagree. You can't. You'd be crazy. You'd be crazy. You can't just completely disagree with that. But again, tragedy, you did yourself proud today. You should be proud of yourself. I need to see energy like that. I need to see chaos. The next time this nigga approach you telling you how you doing your content, to don't interview this person or stop doing this, stop doing that. Like, stop giving why like the last time I said, bro, you was giving him too. Why are you giving him so much grace, my nigga? Like, bro, don't give you no grace. Chaos. Marcus thinks you a little bitch. Chosen. Marcus don't even think you heterosexual, my nigga. Like, to me, that's probably like the least amount of that a nigga gotta at least think of you to give you some respect. Marcus don't think you heterosexual, chosen. Shit, a lot of people. But Marcus definitely don't. And that's why Marcus treats you and talk to you the way he do. And the next time he do, you need to take a page out of, because I believe even you could take Marcus Chosen if it came down to it, and there was no weapons involved. I think you could probably take, bro. You could take him. Shit, why wouldn't you? Yeah, you could take. You young. You probably fast as hell. Yeah, you zip around that nigga, knock the shit. Boy, please. You probably be done hit that nigga 5 times before he hit you one time. Stop letting him play in your face. And just be talking to y'all reckless in any kind of way. Like, I'm glad now, like, now I don't see him doing so. Cause he used to do that with Tone. It used to get under my skin so bad, y'all. Like, y'all don't even understand. Like, to watch Tone be like the way he used to talk to him in them interviews a year and a half or so ago, a year ago, 6 months ago. Listen to me when I tell y'all, it used to bother me so bad. It used to really bother me so bad. Like, why are you talking to him like whatever he got going on, whatever he did, whatever he like? Why is it so personal? Like, why are you taking it like nigga? Like what? Like, why is you even that invested and that pressed and bothered that you gotta talk to Tone that way? Like, I'm glad he's not talking to him like that no more. Like, in these last few videos, I noticed he's pulled back. He's not like, he still say his little sly shit, like the little shit eating grin remarks but generally speaking, if you notice, he's pulled back. And I think that's because he realizes that at this time in the game, like, you might need them a little bit more than they need you, bro. Like, you trying to basically, like, this is why I go back to saying I hope Tone and Ileana, if y'all listening to this, know y'all worth. I don't know whatever this nigga was paying y'all to interview y'all a year ago, but that should not be the price today. The price is going up. Bruh is trying to rehabilitate and salvage the image of ASI. If he's gonna go back to the old like content and try to revive y'all to get kind of like the built-in audience going, then nah, y'all gotta be paid for that. That shit can't be no hell nah. Oh nah. Y'all got to be paid for that. Y'all got to be paid for that. It's as simple as that. And $40, $50, no, that's not no. Y'all OGs of these ASI streets. Tony and Ileana, y'all are OGs. Yeah. You see the type of like deference and it after y'all too. Y'all just as old in them streets as Polo. The fuck? Yeah, y'all all came up at the same time. Yeah, he ain't been no more loyal to the platform than y'all. And when it looked like y'all wasn't loyal from whatever perspective it may have been, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, y'all here. He interviewing y'all. Y'all been what? 90% of the content of the last week, right? So let me see what this says. Pure Integrity says, what Marcus failed to realize, as I mentioned to him before, Marcus has daughters. In the same way he's treated and has taken advantage of many people, it shall return to his generation. I hope not. Tragedy stood ground big time, and this is another reason why Marcus despises tragedy. Ah, man, I'm so proud to call tragedy my mother effing nephew. I ain't gonna hold you. Really, really proud to call that man my nephew. I really am. I ain't gonna hold you. I really am. Tragedy stood on business today, and nobody could tell me different. Like I said, yes, there's room for him to have gone just a little step further. There's definitely a little space to go further. But for where he went, I ain't seen another nigga go there other than me. I ain't seen no other nigga go that far. Like, nah, tragedy. At this point, I need my next. I'm going after once I get after my sunny dinner. I need to get a one on one. I need a tragedy interview. I do. I need a tragedy interview, and I need to run some of my thoughts about how Marcus treats him and why he treats him that way by him, and I need his real time reactions to what my opinions are about why it is that Marcus treats him that way. And again, for me, ultimately, if you trace it all back, ever since he turned down the whole cash for some thingy, he became an op. Not saying that Marcus was particularly nicer to him before, but just if you've been watching ASI and just think back, reel it back in your head. Really, when did he go from becoming somebody Marcus just don't like to becoming a op? That's when he became a op. Right then, that day that he laid on that bed and said, "I didn't know." Hell no, I ain't with that shit. He's been a op ever since then. Pure Integrity says, for real though, Marcus' salary definitely comes from his interviews. He's and not without them, he cannot pay the bills. So if his interviews run fast, where what happened? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, and see, Marcus, I don't know if it's like a mental block, a interviews block. Like sometimes as a songwriter, I'll get writer's block, right? Where I'll spend hours with a sheet of paper in front of me, doodling lyrics around, and I form enough of them to create a coherent thought or song, right? That's writer's block. And I think that maybe what's going on now with Marcus is that he may be experiencing a time of creator's block, content creator's block, where he can't really like lock in on getting new content and new people in. And so the easiest thing that he can do is to kind of fall back on some of like the old faves, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna start seeing like more of the Chris's and of course more Tones and Ileana's. You see more of the other Chris's and anybody Quita, I'm pretty sure you start seeing more of her again. Um, because right now, Again, he's flailing and he's doing what he's got to keep the content alive. But with that said, y'all, I've given y'all 3 hours and 15 minutes on this live. I thank y'all for showing up. If you want to drop a little donation in, my cash app is ASHABZ. So A Shabs is gonna come up as Dominique Taylor. You could definitely throw in that little donation. Again, that's ASHABZ, A Shab. It will come up as Dominique Taylor. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to drop in a little tip or whatever the case may be, I definitely much appreciate that. This was unexpected, impromptu live. We are running into 3.5 hours in another 14 minutes. That would be 3.5 hours. So yeah, again, if you want to have something in that cash app, I definitely appreciate it. And I appreciate y'all perspectives. I appreciate the comments, the involvement, the engagement. If you watch the replay, mix it up in the comments. Let me know what your opinions are about some of the things that I've said. Well, shit, it's 24 people in this motherfucker. We ain't going nowhere. Let me stop. But for real though, like it is what it is. Like Marcus, you clearly jealous of tragedy. You are, bruh. You're jealous. Realize that the things that you have above tragedy are the things that you don't want. Tragedy is not pining to have two fucking daughters. Tragedy is not pining to be a fucking dad. And that's really all you have above him, bro. Like, really. Oh, and your money. He may be pining for that money. That he may be pining for. But beyond that, you don't really have nothing above him. Like, you understand? And he's one of the few men in the ASI bubble that you don't have a whole lot above. You understand what I'm saying? It's some of them that, yeah, I give it to you. You do. But tragedy is not one of them. Neither is chaos. Neither is, dare I say it, polo. Neither. Like, these are men that could take any female you got if they got the same money you got. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they could literally, because we done heard from enough females that below that belt, it's not hitting on nothing. It's not hitting on nothing. We done heard it. We done heard it. We not heard from one female yet. Do you realize that you could crisscross this world 3,000 times to any nigga that I've ever dealt with and ask them what it was hitting on, and you not gonna find a single one of them that's gonna honestly tell you that it wasn't fire, whatever it was. I don't care if I was on top, bottom, side, middle, I don't matter. You always gonna hear, oh nah. Oh, that damn Dominique. You understand that? You're not gonna hear nothing different. It is what it is. You're not. And not. hmm But we've heard consistently in these YouTube streets about you is that it's some lacking in the packing. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. They say it's some lacking in the packing. We ain't never heard, ain't one girl on this mother ever come through here yet talking about how you took her through there. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not saying you took them through there. They saying you got them to the door. But they had to go the rest of the way. Yeah. See what that's what that ain't me. Nah, that ain't me. Allegedly, I'm not. They saying that you took them to the door, but that's it. They had to get on up through there. Hmm. Yeah. Pure Integrity says, for real though, Marcus's salary definitely comes from his interviews. He's okay. Yeah, I did read that one. Okay, this is a new one. You're correct. When tragedy refused to be a part of the foursome, tragedy was then on Marcus's shit list. Thank you. I'm glad somebody else is noticing that. Like, I'm shocked I haven't heard more. I feel like I don't know. I was thinking more CCs would pick up on that. Like they would look back on the time and then think like, but see, I think that most CCs are a little bit deluded by the fact that he's never liked tragedy. So they're thinking like, oh, well, he never liked tragedy. It's no different. No, bitch, there's a big difference. Like, look back, like track back and pay attention. Yes, there's a difference. Damn it. There's absolutely been a damn difference. Pure Integrity says Marcus also see the tragedy isn't at all slow, and he has potentials. He needs a mentor that knows how to reach him. Exactly, exactly. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I wasn't concerned about, let's just say tragedy would be a very good candidate for a person like me who has to intervene in these types of situations without expectation. That's the best way I could say that. Um, cause he's got potential. Tragedy is not somebody that you need to be counting out in life. And why Marcus seems to want to talk to him all the time is if he's somebody who's been counted out in life, or is if he's somebody unworthy of grace or dignity or respect, is fucking beyond me. Beyond me. I'd be like, I don't get it. The ease with which he's able to disregard people's respect is, and the fact that people don't call this out enough. Like people don't really get in bros enough about that. Like I don't hear like people like I don't think people don't really challenge that part of him. They challenge the content creation parts of him. They challenge what they perceive as to be the exploitive nature of what he does. But people do not really challenge that cockiness. They don't challenge that unearned or what I believe is an unearned self-assuredness or overly self-assuredness that I'm not sure has been earned. Oh my God, I can't believe we've been here for 3.5 hours on this. I gotta go, guys. It's 3:24 that we've been doing this. Um, I haven't been live in days. Again, this should not be the platform where you expect that every single day something's going to pop up. This is not that. This is your 4, 5 days out of the week. I don't know. Um, shit, this week it was less than that. So I don't, but when it does happen and we do go live, you can at least, yeah, he's very low IQ. you can at least, you know what showed me that Marcus is very low IQ, pure integrity, and this is not a pat on my back or a self plug. It's just the reality. When Marcus fucked up his relationship with me, his working relationship with me, when he came to my house and stuck a whole stick of dynamite in that relationship, I knew right then that that nigga was crazy. Marcus is fucking crazy. Allegedly. There's no way of a way to around that because well read, well spoken, well written, well prepared individual to take your platform to levels that you couldn't even possibly fucking imagine, and you do that. You might be more than low IQ. You might actually have a little mental illness in you. Like there's literally something mentally wrong with you because I again, like I tell everyone, I know the proposal I sent Marcus. I know the professionalism it was sent with. I know that it was developed at the same level you would develop something for NBC, Hulu, Netflix, whatever, right? And so for that person to receive that and in turn behave that he did, no, he that's a sick ass nigga. Ain't no other way to put it. Like, bruh really got mental problems. There's no way of getting around it. Ain't no nice way to say it. Like bruh has some serious mental problems. It is what it is. He really got mental problems. Because anytime you willing to throw away the big long term bag for a short term YouTube coin for a 1 out of 10 video, come on now. Y'all do the math. This is common sense. Y'all know damn well that that nigga had to be crazy. He was out of his effing mind. He was out of his mind. Yeah. He was out of. You still ain't heard him yet tell y'all that I gave him a piece of shit proposal. Well, why would he? That was not the case. You still ain't heard him make one complaint about the document that I sent him. So that tell you right there how crazy he must have been. Mm-hmm. Says Dominique, Marcus didn't accept your plan idea is because he felt threatened that he would lose what he states often he built his platform. That's true. That's true. You try to steal my idea on live TV because that was genuinely how I felt, by the way, right? I felt like he wanted my ideas and he wanted my work, but he just didn't want it if I had to be attached to it. I didn't see it as a rejection of me. I mean, I didn't see it as a rejection of my work. I saw it as a rejection of me. I was being rejected. Marcus wasn't rejecting the work, he was rejecting me personally. Hence all of the remarks about my height, my size, my voice, and all of these different things, right? So it wasn't a rejection of the work, it was a rejection of me personally. You know what I mean? But the work he wanted. Oh, he wanted the work. And if I know Marcus, he still does. He just wants it without me attached to it. Because, see, Marcus can only work with anything close to feminine if he can feel like he can fuck it. And if Marcus can't fuck it, Marcus don't really want to be a part of it. You understand? Allegedly. That's what I've heard. People say that. Yeah. A lot of people say it. And so, with me, because Marcus is not attracted to me, you know, Marcus didn't have any use for me. It's just that simple. You know what I mean? Now, had another trans presented that same platform to him, proposed it to him, then they would have gotten a whole different reaction because, there's that attraction there, you know? But oddly and sadly enough, there's not a lot of members in our community who are creating things like that and have the diction, intelligence, know-how, to even put that kind of thing together. Um, there's no shade. I'm just being honest about what my opinion is. You ain't gotta agree with me. I don't care one way or the other, but it's my opinion. So, so yeah, Marcus, get your shit together, bruh, and stop playing in these people's face. And if you're gonna use Tone and Ileana for a whole nother story arc, as if you haven't used them enough and gotten enough out of them, if you're gonna use them, at least pay them. Pay them good. Can't be no $40, $50, bruh. Dominique, I thought your idea was brilliant because then our homies had to better themselves, which stood out to me. Yeah, it was a great plan. I'm not mad at the planning. I mean, we are going to see it come to fruition at some point. And it may not come through the ASI landscape, but it will find its place in some space. So you can bank on that. Everything has a time and everything has a place. If that wasn't the place and this wasn't the time, I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. But what I can tell you is that the time will come when the rebuild is on some platform, YouTube, film, whatever. It will happen. And just remember I told you it will. So Marcus didn't take anything away from me. If anything, what Marcus did for me was he kind of lit a fire under my soul, you know? And he kind of sparked something in me that had been for a while. Oh, I hope y'all don't hear me chewing. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just thought about that. Y'all probably hear me chewing. I'm eating too, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all. And it's good, damn it. I try to chew quieter. But yeah. Marcus Marcus thinks that he created people, not realizing that the same people he thinks he created him. How the hell can you feel or try to take ownership over anything Feisty got going on when your interaction with Feisty has benefited you more than it's benefited her? And I'm talking like 5 or 10 times over. No. And that's why you get surprised when you see people like Chosen and others who gain this large following in such a short amount of time. Nigga, people be interested in them outside of your ASI space too. Like sometimes people want to see them unfiltered. People want to see them without the narratives attached. And what Tragedy was saying was actually true. The whole question about what create narratives or whether or not their behavior create narratives, yeah, you still creating a narrative. Even if it was their behavior, and I tell you why and how I feel that way. Because think about it. In the time that Marcus has known Tragedy and Feisty, do y'all think there's never been no good moment? Do y'all think there's never been no good news? I think that there's never been no good time that was content worthy. Of course there has, but you wouldn't see it, right? You're not gonna see it because you gotta see the toxicity. Yeah, you gotta see all the bad moments. You gotta see all the bad times. You feel me? That's why Marcus came to my house and showed his ass. Mm-hmm. It was intentional. Marcus wanted to self-destruct. Because Marcus was reading my proposal and he like, wait a minute now. This shit is good and professional as hell, but one problem, this shit is not toxic enough. Where's the exploitation? I don't see nothing in this proposal about no spicy. I mean, how are we supposed to capitalize on this? You mean to tell me you want me to produce a show where these homeless people get to doing positive shit? Well, if they doing positive shit, how am I gonna get them in the hotel with the spicy shit? You tell me. How's I'm gonna get them in the hotel with the spicy shit if you got them running around getting IDs and jobs and you got them doing mock interviews and shadow training and health checks? Oh no, Dominique. Hell, ain't no way in hell. Mm-mm. See, I don't fuck with the You see what you gotta understand about my audience, Dominique? My audience don't want to see all that. Some of them do, but most of them don't. Most of my audience would rather see a baby in a dumpster fire than a nigga get a job. Yeah, and I mean it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Perverse as hell. But that's my audience. That's Marcus. Mm-hmm. That's Marcus. Dang, I keep saying we about to get off, and then I keep on continuing to talk because the more I think about this MFA and the way he talked to my nephew Tragedy, I'm like, what? Anyway, y'all have a Sunday tomorrow that will officially be the end of the weekend, our last day of the weekend tomorrow. Let's read this last comment. Marcus would rather see the people be he interviews to stay down bad to keep his income. Exactly. Yes. So true. Marcus showed jealousy the word chosen as well. He didn't compliment. Now he acted as if Cass was doing something wrong. True. Marcus. Exactly. Yes. And it took me a while to figure that out, y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all. It did. Or not to figure it out, but to come to terms with it, to accept that I almost went into business with somebody whose character is that fucking flawed. You know what I mean? That making content out of the worst moments of somebody's life would be better than creating content about people in the best moments of their lives or people trying to exit the worst moments of their lives. Yeah, I fell for that. And I wasted a lot of time and energy in pursuit of that elusive possibility. But I tell you what, the good news is I'm a much better person for it. A much better human being for it. And for that I'm thankful. You know, like things that always mattered matter way more, like integrity and honesty and all of those journalistic ethics. Yeah, they all matter in a much greater way since having that experience. Pure Integrity says, I agree. Marcus would have taken all the credit. It's so good, Dominique, that Marcus showed rejection. It worked out. Yeah, it did work out in the end. It did because at the end of the day, I know the kind of person I am, right? Even on shifts, I don't like micromanagers. I don't like micromanagement. And I don't trust that Marcus would have trusted me enough to kind of let that wing of his empire be managed outside auspices or outside of his direct involvement, I'll say. Marcus was not going to allow that. And I probably would have needed that in order for the project to work out accordingly. Right? Because I'll be honest with you, once that project would have taken flight, the whole idea of anybody in the content house also being involved in Spicy would have been a non starter. Like, literally, like, that's a non. Like, I'm not saying we can't do the Spicy. I'm not saying like the Spicy doesn't exist, but nobody living in the content house could have possibly, I would not have been for that. Absolutely fucking not. No. No and no and no. No. Fine, keep the spicy wing, nigga. Scour the streets and find new people for the spicy content. But the people living inside the content house? Oh no. Spicy shit? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I wouldn't have been for it. Because why would I be? First of all, it's going to take their mind away from what they really got going on. Second, there was no verification process. There was no mandated condom usage that I'm aware of. So now, if a person contracts a STD or STI during filming, right, then that adds a whole layer of drama to the series and the storylines. But then it also complicates the household living situation, right? You see? How do you not think about these things and you run a whole fucking business? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Anyway, y'all, I'm definitely like it's 3:47 now. In 13 minutes, it will have been 4 hours that I've been just chit chatting it up with y'all. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. I feel like I don't need that. I don't need that full four. No, I don't. The 347.57, 58, 59. Now we at 3:48 minutes. You feel me? It ain't enough of y'all in the chat talking. Y'all been good with the likes. The likes been up tonight, I have to say. I think the highest number we had in here tonight at one point was 24. We had 17 on the likes. If we could get at least 3 more people to hit that like button, that'd be nice. 3 more people hit that like button, bring that up to around a nice number of 20, which is more reflective of the number of people who've been in here. I've been giving y'all my real, unfettered, unfiltered opinions about Pure Integrity says Marcus, money, and content. That's it, and that's all. Period. And that is. Yeah, it was pure. It wasn't raunchy enough for Mark. Yeah, and that's what I believe. That. And Marcus, if you see this and I'm wrong, then I challenge you. I challenge you. Reach out. No, don't reach out. I'm good. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm good on this shit. But I don't feel like I'm wrong. I don't feel like I'm wrong. I feel like his entertainment of my ideas was purely content driven. He realized that there was an interest. He realized that there was a certain amount of people in the ASI bubble who wanted me to have some role in the content house. And he took advantage of that and used it as content, only to then pull the rug out from under what he thought would be me, but ended up being his damn self. Because little did he know is that at the end of the day, I'm going to be all right. Because I got talents, I got ideas, I have vision, I got skills. I'm going to be all right. Because the same idea you might shit on and trample on is the same idea that somebody eyes, no, you aren't wrong. Your eyes were open to Marcus bullcrap. Yeah, and that's what it was. And the biggest mistake Marcus made with me is not getting to know me before he pulled the bullshit. Because had Marcus really gotten to know me, he never would have tried me like that. Because, first of all, he would have known that it would have been a physical danger to know. And secondly, he would have figured out that I would be much more better as an asset in his corner than as an op. He would have deduced that. But Marcus did not do his homework. He did not spend enough time getting to know me, being used to coming across so many people who are more needy, people who have a lot going against them. I think makes Marcus jaded about any other interactions with people who may not be experiencing those same traumas would have. So, like, my hardships are regular hardships. They're like normal, they're normal. I'm not somebody who's trying to figure out throughout my day how I'm going to get high. How can I come up with enough money to smoke enough crack or whatever the case may be to numb myself? Like, that's not my struggle. And I think that with people who have all of these different issues and struggles, it's hard to maintain a balance in terms of how you relate to people who may not be all of those struggles. The funniest thing that the interview Marcus had at your place is when you had him walking backwards. Marcus was hurry up to get the hell out. I was right. Nah, it was funny. It was funny. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I still watch that interview again and again. I do. Especially my side of the footage, like the up, yeah. I do. Which was hilarious. But at its again is a result of Marcus's lack of awareness that not everybody he encounters fits the mold of the typical interviewee. I never fit the mold. I never fit the mold. And Marcus knew that I never fit the mold. I had never once been hitting up Marcus like, could you please interview me? I need $20. I never fit the mold. And that's not saying I'm better than anyone. I'm not trying to elevate myself. I'm just simply saying that there's a certain mentality that goes along with people in need or dire need, if that makes sense. Anyway, y'all, it's free to get up out of here, y'all. Good night. I love y'all. Thanks for showing up. And look, y'all make sure y'all are checking that music out. There are several music videos that I posted, I think 7 or 8 new music videos. I've written every single song. Every single song that y'all hear in the music posted on this account is not a AI. That's me. I write that music. The singer is AI. The music is me. The lyrics is me. Let's be clear about that. So enjoy that. Like those, share those, comment those. Um, Thanks for showing up. I hope y'all have a great Sunday, a blessed Sunday, and a great start to y'all week on Monday. You all take care, and thanks again for pulling up. Bye bye.